Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game On Episode 2. How are you guys all doing today?
Hey!
Doing
good.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I have coffee and it's good.
I could use some coffee right about now.
I could send you some coffee.
I just have a tiny bit of coffee here for me. That's,
Looks a little diluted, but okay.
Yeah, it has a touch of the half and half and possibly something else.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the days of Bailey's in my coffee every morning. I miss those days. What have you all been up to in this last week of craziness and nonsense?
Streaming on.
Yep, stream on.
Thunder go! Thunder go!
Oh my God, yes.
I've been making Witch Mercy wings. I spent like 10 or 12 hours on Saturday and they're almost done and they look dope and I'm excited. So
yay.
I think I'm the only one that's not on stream on. So y'all had the game stuff and I was like, cosplay.
Yep, just gang beasts galore. A game that I've never played before, really, and it was just suddenly like, here, gang beasts.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's a really fun game, though.
Is
It
it?
is.
How are you
It
enjoying it? How's like your guys' individual communities enjoying it?
Oh man, they went crazy on there.
Well, you went crazy. I mean, she you should have seen her. I don't know if you watch Kupakins. She had this amazing,
I saw.
bright and shiny. I loved it. It was awesome.
I was like texting her and I was like, here are themes you could do. And she's like, this is the theme we're going with. And I was like, yeah, that's the best theme. Like,
It was awesome. I wasn't able to, unfortunately, tune in with everything going on.
Totally.
Kira, how'd your go?
Oh, I'm doing everything off stream. I'm not going to reveal my champion until the entire tournament starts. I want to
Very sneaky. Very sneaky.
That's a plan. Hey,
can't be giving away my strategies this early in the game.
I mean,
Your pro strats.
Right.
what it is, she hired an MLG pro gang beast.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
Reached out.
MLG. Yeah, she went on to the other streams and found like the proest pro on YouTube.
I don't think though there's really an MLG gang beast pro unless Double Fine is doing something entirely different.
No, it actually is an esport. So there's
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this esport.
Yeah, professional gang beast player.
This has to be like an underground thing where they're fighting for unseedy money and whatnot. It's blood sport.
I'll tell you guys a secret. A is jump.
Oh my God, no way.
I told you, everybody.
And if you hit X, you show everyone your crotch.
Ooh.
You hit X and like he flops down on his back. And so it's like you start moving forward and it's like crotch first towards everything.
Gosh,
so he becomes like every typical male.
That dance move where you like hang your like half of your body behind you.
Exactly that.
Harlem Shake.
But more so.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, what is that thing that everyone's permitted and now it's irrelevant? What is that?
Exactly. Perfect.
You guys are
But
crazy.
this is also, by the way, this is my first time doing D&D, straight up D&D. I've done this kind of campaign called Burning Wheel with some of my friends in the past, but quite literally Koibu is popping my cherry. This is my very first D&D.
Awesome. I'm excited to be part of that.
Yeah, so we'll see where this all goes.
Oh, he took Cira and yours. And sorry, go ahead.
I do that a
Oh,
lot.
this is also my first campaign. I did a one shot with Koibu, but this is my first campaign. So I'll be asking lots of questions.
That's my first time playing Druid. So I don't really understand the whole spell mechanic yet. And I was going to grab something to write things down and I totally failed on that front. So let's see if I can.
Oh, look. So I have a picture of Brother Honeybun here. If you guys want to know.
Oh my God.
This is my action mug. So whenever I talk, this is the face that comes
that's
out of
hilarious.
I've just been picturing Sam from Game of Thrones.
it. No, I'm a much heftier man. Because Cornucopius is the best.
And you got the friar thing going on up top.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got the fire thing going up on top.
That's good.
Got that sweet haircut.
The sweet looks.
Sweet lips.
So let's talk about what we're doing here today. This is the continuation of the last episode that featured Levin and Brother Honeybun. And what did you guys do last time?
Oh, it was a horrible, horrible thing.
I hunted for pixels.
Yeah.
I hope you're familiar with the 10 by 10 explosion. I can't stop my eye twitching.
Apparently, there's a horror game, 10 by 10.
Oh God! It just shows our faces just going.
Yeah, that was a nightmare from which there was no escape, other than this week. But in D&D last week, what did Brother Honeybun and Levin get up to? There was because we're going to be following that same story and bringing in some reinforcements for y'all. So what trouble did you guys get into last week?
Last week we had the Dutch Baroness. Yeah, Baroness's crown was stolen, and she came to us in our tavern just to do a on the DL, the down low, to get her crown back. And we thought we got him, but I think this part needs to be described by Kuba. What happened at the end?
We thought that we got them, and it turns out they were were rats, not just regular old humanoids, and they weren't dead, and then they killed Gamgee.
And was Gamgee a noteworthy character in the session?
Gamgee was my my ferret that I raised from a baby that was like one of my best friends, and I grew up in the forest, so like Gamgee was basically my child, and his children are very upset that they lost their father.
Cool.
And I decided to stay in the forest. Yeah, it's totally cool.
Cool.
It's super great.
Good.
Yeah.
So you guys have lost the crown, but figured out who took it. Come back to the Baroness. Does anyone remember the Baroness's name?
The Baroness.
All right, you came back to the Baroness because there is only one in the town of Meadstead, which we are starting our campaign in.
It's the main Baroness that lives in the castle.
Yeah.
Like Stephanie or something.
Stephanie.
I don't know. I was watching. It started with an S. That's all I remember.
Sarah.
See, it's close.
It might have been Stephanie. I don't have it in my notes actually, which is why I'm asking you. This isn't like a quiz.
Oh, I thought this was a test.
No, this isn't a test. This is like, what did I name this character?
Dasha.
It could be
Sasha,
Stephanie.
That's a nice name.
All right, we can call her Stephanie or Sasha. Maybe her given name is Stephanie, but she prefers to go by Sasha. I don't know. One of these things is fine. Doesn't matter. So you've come back to her being like, hey, sorry, were-rats took your crown. We need like silver weapons in order to fight them because, were-rats, werewolves, only harmed by silver sort of thing.
Or magic, right?
Or magic. Magic will work as well. So she has gone out, found you a couple of other people to help you with this job, and will arm you all with silver weapons. The two people she have brought to you are the famed and much feared orc warrior from the northeast, known as Niga. Who is Niga, for people who might not have seen you before?
That's me. I'm Niga. Half orc fighter. Level 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But who is Niga?
Oh.
Like on the inside, like who are you?
Who is Niga? Niga is kind of a loner. She grew up on the outskirts of her village and prefers the company of cats rather than people. She used to have 18, but when her village was burned down by goblins, she lost a couple. She went on a quest for revenge, ended up freeing the goblins, and moved what remained of her people to another orc village up north so that she still had the protection of a group of people. But again, prefers to be on her own.
Right. So this very fearsome, very powerful orc warrior is coming, half orc warrior is here to help you out with these things. And she also has brought in a ranger from the plains, the Golden Sea as it's called, who has some experience and some past problems with were-rats and knows how to track them down. And that would be TheOnlyRyann. Who are you, TheOnlyRyann?
I am a ranger class that hails actually from Rome, if you couldn't tell by the garb. Because of course in Rome there's tons of elves and humans living alike. So I wanted to stake out to go find my own riches with my trusty companion Tankster, which is a wolf by my side.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the four of you are gathered here in the Baroness's little war room. It's got a table with some maps on it. Why don't we actually go take a look at the map that is currently on it? It is this map that we see here of the world. Meadstead is at the center of the map because that's where you guys are taking place from. And she has just introduced all four of you to one another and gives you a little bit of recap here saying... So my crown has been stolen by were-rats, as Brother Honeybun and Lavin say. Lavin or Levin?
It's Lumen.
It's the moon.
Well, yeah.
Just gonna go change those overlays, sorry.
I was like trying to suddenly be like, it's Lumen.
That's fine. Look, Brother Honeybun and Lumen have found these Lumen.
Also, I think that I'm hanging out outside of town with my animal friends because I was gonna kill the Baroness.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's just the three of you then.
Just the three of us.
Yes. So we need to find this crown because, as I mentioned before, times are hard. There's war in the south, and we don't want things to get dark over here. So finding that crown is important. Otherwise, riots, rebellion, insurrection, and besides, who knows who has done this? Someone has clearly hired these were-rats to do this for some sort of nefarious purpose. Therefore, we need to get it back quickly and quietly without telling anyone else that it's missing. So, TheOnlyRyann. You have some experience with were-rats before. How did you come to know these devious, horrible monsters?
Well, outside of probably watching Princess Bride and knowing of rats through there many, many times, I would actually say that my character, through its travels, because to find us upon this land all the way from Rome is quite a long ways, if not mystical. Almost like so I would say just through my travels of going through and being able to talk to animals and to be able to befriend them, I've learned a fair share about these horrible, disgusting little creatures.
Good. Well, is there anything aside from the silvered weapons that I can provide you with that you think you might need for this adventure?
Supplies of food, of course. Because we are traveling very far, and we are very hungry travelers.
We will provide you with whatever rations you need. I will send one of my servants for that immediately. Anything else that I can provide you with? Any other tools that you might need? That's fine.
Stroke your chin. A little bit more.
Well, I am not the expert with these were-rats. I would just suggest that, what is your character's name, Ryan? Is it just TheOnlyRyann?
It's TheOnlyRyann.
Oh, it's this gentleman, this gentleman with the wolf here. TheOnlyRyann. If he has any expertise with that, and also this, I'm assuming this orc also has expertise as well.
Bonsai never change. Never, ever change. I would say if there's anything that we could possibly take that could mask our scent, if there's anything that we could use that, one such as tracking and hunting, you're able to have things that would be able to mask your scent. So it's
I have my Kettle Master store the dog piss just for this occasion. I can give you a wineskin full of it.
Perfect. And hey, I have a dog. I have a wolf just in case we need extra. So we're good.
Wonderful. She looks to Niga. Do you have anything in particular that you require for this?
As long as I get paid when we get back, that's all I need.
Of course, we will definitely take care of that. Should you survive? Do you have a next of do you have a next of kin that you would like to receive your share of the payment if you die on this journey?
I think if she dies, we can all just, split her cut. I think.
My cat, Ginger, should receive my share.
Of course.
Whoa! If your cat needs a home, I know of a very good tavern that has a.
And wait a second, are we going to assume that the cat's going to survive?
My cat needs nothing. Yeah, she's at home. She's watching my shack.
Well, you mentioned her on the show, so I'm just going to assume that probably something bad is going to happen to her based off of what I've read from chat.
She does her own thing. I just let her.
She suddenly comes down with cancer. So there we go.
No, don't say that. I have a cat with cancer right now.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. I got
Oh God.
cancer. He's got kidney cancer.
All right. Good night, everybody. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank God I'm part elf because it means I have tiny feet to remove from my mouth.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, so this is an orc and an elf working together that I see?
I haven't drank enough yet.
Yeah, well, a dwarf and a half elf.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow, Cira. Wow.
Sorry, I was just throwing in because it's kind of. Well, I mean, I guess is there like racial problems with elves and in your?
Yeah, elves and dwarves are. I mean, they're both stubborn, long-lived people who kind of think that they're better than everyone else. But there's no like particular racial enmity. Just the usual kind of derision you might have for people who aren't of your kind.
Yeah, that's what I said. Orc, not dwarf. Sorry. Orc.
Oh, yes.
Orc. Okay. Oh, so they're halfers. Okay. All right.
Yeah, halfers.
Halfers.
All right. So you guys can head out of town, pick up Lumen, who is what are you doing, Lumen, out in the woods by yourself?
Well, I'm not by myself. I'm with all of my animal people.
Are they really people though?
Really? So I had to break the news to the wood folk that both Bigfoot and Gamgee died, and I had to convince Gamgee's children not to go on a revenge quest with me, but I did recruit a couple of animals to come with me that I have instructed to be very careful. I'll be bringing a raccoon and a dog. So my raccoon is Miko, and my dog will be Cira because I'll probably be talking to my real life dog.
Cira?
Yeah,
because she's a puppy. She's hiding under my desk from my cat right now.
Oh yes. That reminds me. Niga and Ryan, when we go to this person that is also a member of who we're working with, she's dealing with a great loss. Not a very great loss. So just make allowances for that, please. You look hungry, Niga. Here, have a bun on me.
Oh, all right. Not gonna turn down food.
And also, Ryan, here, you look famished. You're too thin, sir. Here, have a bun on
Too
me.
thin. I haven't heard that in at least a decade. All right. Well, thank you.
All right, the whole party gathers together at Lumen's little. What does your place look like where you live with these creatures?
It's kind of like a hidden shack. So it's a shack, but it's made out of a lot of foliage. So it looks like it blends into the scenery. You'd really only know it was there if you were looking for it.
Okay. Is it spacious? Yeah. Is it small? Is it cozy? Is it underground? Is it above ground?
So I would say it definitely has like an underground component, but the entrance is above ground, and it's spacious enough for one person who doesn't really need a lot, you know? I would say it's probably not spacious enough for what you and I might be used to, but she spends most of her time out in the world protecting the wood folk and collecting and gathering and things like that,
So you guys come and find this little hidey hut in the woods, which is not big enough for you all to be guests in. So I guess everyone has to step outside and gather the party together. You would know between what Eclair told you and what TheOnlyRyann knows about were rats is that they live sort of near the Razor Brook River. That's generally where they make their home, is down this river here somewhere. No one's really sure exactly where they are, because there's all these like different caves and canals and stuff in the Razorbrook River from all these various underground rivers that used to exist but are now sort of dry, and they're just kind of like these empty shafts that go for miles. You know the were-rats live there, and they kind of move around, and you can tell where they live by that particular were-rat odor, and the odor of refuse, because they collect a lot of trash and junk and leave it in their hole until they move on to the next one. But you guys are over here in Meadstead, and you got to go some 50 miles to get to the Razorbrook River. So, first things first, where is your destination? Where specifically do you want to go?
So we just need to make it to the Razorbrook River. That's then just where along that we want to hit.
Yeah, you don't know where on the river side they are, so you should start somewhere and then explore or whatever. I don't want to tell you how to play your characters, so
Gotcha.
Just let me know where it is that you want to go, like a specific spot on the river, and then we'll figure out what happens along the way.
The last time I saw these guys, they were heading up towards the Himdoris. I'll put them the map right here by the hills.
I think that it would be best to start where the hills meet the river, so that we can cut them off and really get the whole of the river if we are going to go downstream.
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Start upriver and just go down.
Start up and go down. All right, that'll work. So you gather your things together. You got a bunch of food. You got some supplies. You all your weapons here are silvered, so they will work against were-rats. And you've got some spells at your disposal. And this hodgepodge group of folks is going to head out across. Do you want to cut across the plains? Do you want to go up through the hills? What's your route here, y'all?
What are the plains like?
Tall grasses that are maybe 3 to 4 feet tall in most places. They are generally open and empty. There's not really much in the way of civilization. There are a couple of villages that are sort of near these rivers, the confluence of these rivers, and there's a couple over in this region too, but the in-between space is just kind of broad open plains. There's some monsters there, but not as many as you might find in the hills, but the hills have more cover.
So would you, because I'm familiar with this area, would I know which route would essentially be the safest route to take?
Generally, the plains are probably a little bit safer because you can move faster through them, and they're less populated. The hills have ogres and orcs and other nasty monsters, but you got a half orc with you. Maybe the orcs aren't a problem in the hills. Who knows?
So the benefit of going through the plains would be that we can traverse more quickly. We can get there at a faster pace. However, there's absolutely no cover, so if somebody does come for us, they're gonna see us.
Yeah, you can sit down in the grass, but it's a flat area. You can't really run away.
So I just tell that to the group.
My vote for being new to this land, but having excellent eyesight, would definitely be actually the plains. I'd feel a little safer going in an area that has a lot more visibility in it, so we could see what's approaching us and what's around us.
What has the most natural food on the way there?
I assume I would know that.
Yeah, probably the hills have more natural foliage.
More foraging.
Yeah, the plains are just open grassland unless you want to eat grass.
No, but we are in a rush. I will go ahead and starve myself for a couple of days. And I will vote for the plains as well, even though we do not have cover. What about you, Niga?
Well, I think the plains are fine. Whatever gets us there the fastest. I'm ready to swing this maul into a couple of heads.
All right. Off through the plains you go. Who is at the front of the party? Who is taking the point and sort of guiding people ahead and forging the path? What does that feel like to you?
I could do that. I'm tiny because I'm a halfling, so I might even get cover in the grass. And
Just see a parting of grass as you go through.
And then I know the area, so I feel like it might make more sense for me to lead the way, since I probably know how to get there without getting us lost.
All right,
And
cool.
I would. Are we going to have like an order of how we're doing this, or like how we're walking? Or
Sure, yeah. If you have a specific marching order that you'd like, that's fine. Or if you guys like we're friends and we're hanging out and like anyone's in any given spot at any given time, whatever you guys want to do. How strict are you about your marching order?
I don't feel like we're gonna be. I feel like we're just sort of doing our own thing.
Okay.
You know, like
Like a what is this shape? Diamond.
Oh, a diamond. Okay.
Also known as the Mighty V from. Okay, never mind.
From the
I
Mighty
should probably-
Ducks, right?
I'll probably put it back because I'm the tallest,
Okay.
so that way everybody could see past me. Maybe I could see over them.
There you go.
All right, perfect. So you guys start heading through the plains. Lumen, definitely not Levin. Can you make me a nature check as you find your way through the grasslands?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're trudging
Yes,
along
Queen.
through these grasses, and your small stature is of particular usage today. When, as you are walking through, you almost but not quite step upon a rather large heap of dung, which
boy.
you recognize right away to be rather fresh lion droppings.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm gonna put my hand up to warn the party and just whisper, "There are lions nearby. This dung is very fresh.
Mhm.
We should be wary and be ready." And I'm gonna kind of scan the horizon to the best of my ability. Do I see anything or any other signs of what direction they would have gone?
How tall is your halfling character?
I think about 3 feet.
Cool.
Not tall.
So you can kind of see grass up to your eyes.
Can I ask someone to pick me up?
Who do you ask?
Who's behind me?
I think directly
I guess-
behind you is Brother Honeybun and TheOnlyRyann and
Good, 'cause
Niga.
I'm more comfortable with Honeybun anyways because we have a history. So I turn to Honeybun and I ask them to give me a boost so that I can get the lay of the land.
All right, I just go, boom, just put her on my shoulder.
Oh, boy. So do I see any signs of what direction they might go in?
Yeah, give
From
me
my
a
side.
perception check from up here, Lumen. Oh, very nice. You know what? You notice this gentle pattern in the grasses that people who aren't druids or rangers probably would never have noticed there. You
Okay.
can see that there's definitely like a few curves in the grasses that looks like various large lion-sized creatures have walked. It actually forks maybe 20 feet in front of you, and one goes a little bit to the left and one goes a little bit to the right, and then you kind of lose the path a few hundred feet out.
So essentially, it looks like they're stalking something.
Yeah.
Okay. How dangerous would lions be? Like, how aware of, like, if I was with a group, would I know that we could take them, or would I know that we couldn't?
It depends on the number of lions and how strong your group is. You've got a pretty hardy group of adventurers here. You've got this badass half-orc with you.
Okay.
You've got this very skillful ranger, yourself, of course, and Brother Honeybun, who can maybe feed the lions or heal you, or, I mean, he's so versatile.
Okay.
At this point, it's kind of like it depends on the number. You could easily
of
take
lions,
one
okay.
lion. You could easily take 2. 3 might be a bit of a whatever, but you'll
A
find.
struggle. Okay.
And I
7
do
or 8
realize
would be
also,
dangerous.
apparently, one of my abilities, I guess, or magic is that I can also talk to animals as well. So if we just want to have them go away, could also even try to
Yeah, I
talk to
have
them and
animal friendship and animal handling as a spell as well. So,
Cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very animal friendly.
same here.
Cool. So Yeah, I just relay that information. You know, there are at least 2 lions, it looks like, and it looks like they're stalking some kind of prey. So we need to be ready, and I kind of show them which directions they went. And, you know, I would prefer to not upset the natural balance. But obviously, if they attack us and don't want to let us pass, we're going to have to fight them. So I would prefer not to lose any more lives today.
Did you say there were cats here? Big cats?
Big cats. Basically,
Oh
lions
God,
are
crazy
like big
cat lady.
But they're not quite as friendly as big cat. Would I know the general demeanor of lions? Like, are they generally friendly, or are they gonna be?
They're like real world lions.
Okay.
How much do you know about real world lions?
I mean, I know that they like to stalk their prey, that the males are just for protection, that the females are the hunters.
Yep.
And they eat their babies.
Well, the males eat babies of other males so that they can be the alpha, and their offspring are the only ones that live.
So Cira, don't go Leroy Jenkins on us and go to try to pet the kitties, please.
I love the
Please.
kitties.
Please don't pet the kitties.
If they circle around you, they're hunting you. Yeah.
This isn't a party if they circle you.
Yeah. Dance off.
Yay, hug them all.
So, all right. Are they were-lions? Oh, jeez. I am going to relay this information to them and, you know, maybe suggest that we bring them an offering if we have some like fresh meat that hasn't been cooked. If we do want to not kill them, we can, you know, offer some rations in exchange for safe passage through the channel.
Rations.
So
how's our food reserves? I'm guessing is something we also have to be looking at.
We're starving. We're starving, even though it looks like there's a month's worth of food packed in there.
Yeah.
We're going to starve in 2 days.
Brother
Oh,
Honeyman
God.
can like make pastries appear at will also, so I think we're gonna.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this was an ability.
I mean, he's a cleric of the god Cornucopius, so that's his special ability. Not turning undead, but summon pastry. Can you guys? Can any of you live on pastries?
I feel like anybody could live on pastries if they had to.
Yeah, I mean it's carbs, it's
Yeah.
sugars, it's energy. You know, essentially.
I mean, like, yeah, technically you can survive on pastries, but like
Oh.
you can't live without coffee, right? So can you live on pastries?
Oh no, I wouldn't be able to live on it. Like, are we talking real life here? Because
No, your character.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to.
Okay. All right. So you guys continue going forward, being especially wary. We've already got a 14 and a 16 for our nature and perception checks, respectively. So after another half mile or so, Lumen, on Brother Honeybun's shoulders, spots a pushed away section of grass, and over the wind, you can kind of hear this low growling sound.
Would I be able to hear what they were saying if I did my animal?
You'd have to use your spell and find out.
Okay.
Kitty.
Yeah, can you hear my cat meowing?
It sounds a lot like that, yeah.
Those lions are so cute. They're just meowing at us.
Go pet the lion.
My dog is because Evie is slowly coming up to her and just meowing in her face. So, all right, is it animal friendship that is?
Animal friendship will like make you buddy with them. Speak with animals is what you need to actually understand.
Oh, that's what I'm
saying.
looking for. Okay, let me. I think that's a higher level spell than I realized.
So while you're like, what spell should I cast right now? The rest of you tall folks can see the grasses starting to bend gently in your direction.
Oh boy.
How many bends?
I mean, it's one path, but the
I
lines
guess
are low to the ground.
can we discern how large the pride, the pack of lions is?
why don't you give me a nature check, and we'll see. And grasslands are your favorite terrain, so make your nature check and add 2 on top of it. That's going to be in your skill section of your character sheet. Yeah. Just click that nature text right next to probably like your wisdom or something. Somewhere in there. I don't really know.
Nature.
There you go.
Yeah, you did it.
And plus 2 on top of that because you are a specialist in the grasslands. So that's a 15. Yeah, you could definitely, you get the impression that it's somewhere between 3 and 6 that are coming towards you.
Oh,
Okay, and I look up and I see them. I'm not. Oh, here it is. Speak with animals. It's a level 1 spell. Okay, yeah. So I'm definitely gonna cast Speak with Animals, and try to talk to them. And I just say, "Hello, hello, Lion Pride. We mean you no harm. We come with an offering of food for you. If you could just grant us safe passage, we do not want to fight."
You hear this. Everyone else hears this sort of growling sound back, but Lumen, you really hear that as I smell wolf.
Oh no.
oh.
So
I can already see why chat warned me about Neal.
Please don't eat our companions. And I kind of like give a little warning sign to TheOnlyRyann. Please don't eat our companions. We have brought you fresh meat. We would be more than willing to trade for safe passage.
We already have a kill.
And I prepped my. Did they give me a crossbow?
Yes.
At all?
Yes, you
Okay.
got bolts set with silver.
Okay. So I ready my crossbow, I guess, and I ready it to attack because I can see that they are not really wanting to listen. And I try to give a signal to let them know that we are going to...
The lions kind of stop maybe 50 feet out. You still can't see them because they're low to the ground and these grasses are fairly tall.
Right.
But they've kind of stopped about 50 feet out.
Okay. So I'm going to hop down from Honeybun. Actually, I put my crossbow away. I hop down from Honeybun, and I'm gonna transform into my direwolf form.
Ooh.
Because they, to me, are giving off signs of aggression that they're going to try to kill us, and so I don't want any more of our animal friends. I send Miko and Cira to go back several.
Did you send them to like run away?
Yeah, like if there's like I know you said it's just grass, but if there's any sort of tree in the distance or anything, I instruct them to go and wait like in some kind of cover, a good distance away until we know that it's safe, because I will not be losing them.
What about the rest of the party? How are you guys feeling about these creatures approaching you slowly, carefully?
Ooh, I don't like it.
I don't like it either, and I'm already ready just to grab my bow and start letting arrows fly if they get any closer.
I'm very disappointed that they don't just want belly rubs.
I mean, no one's tried to rub their belly. It could be effective.
Could I?
Do you tell us that they're hungry, or they're not hungry, they're just attacked?
I told you what they said. I told you that they had no interest in the food before I transformed. I conveyed all of this, that they were interested in killing the wolf tankster. And that to me they're showing signs of aggression, and that's why I transformed.
So now there's two wolves.
In the flames, if it looks like they're getting too close, I'm going to use Sacred Flame.
All right. So you guys have I'm going to give you guys a surprise round on this.
This is escalating quickly.
Yeah. The lions haven't quite made their move, but I think you guys are ready to preemptively strike.
Yeah, since they're not giving any sign of backing off.
Alrighty then. Why don't you tell me what you're doing, and we'll make some rolls, and we'll see what happens.
Well, so Bonsai, did you say that you're first putting down a protection, like a little fire kind of around?
Oh, no, I'm just kind of doing, it's my cantrip that I could do like a sacred flame, which is just like produce a 10-foot cone radius of flame, and we're in the plains, so that might scare them a bit if I just go.
So, I mean, do we want to lead with that first to see if, I mean, typically lions aren't very fond of fire. Well, no animal really is. So, and especially within the
fire.
Yeah, well, with so much grass around here and whatnot, that could definitely cause them to go a running. So, I'd be cool first seeing it if that is our first move to see if
we don't want to destroy their natural habitat. We just want
oh my God, I'm more concerned about my natural habitat here.
Can I use my animal handling skill to try and deduce a little bit more about what they're trying to do?
All right, sure. Give me an animal handling check here, Niga.
Okay, maybe I could see, maybe if there's a way to diffuse this.
So you get the impression that they are very protective, right? They're not attacking you yet, and they're kind of a little bit spread out now. It looks like they are guarding an area from you.
Sorry.
So, it looks like they're trying to guard something from us. What if we just back off a little bit, try to go around it? Maybe we don't have to fight the kitties.
So can I still talk to them?
No, you're a wolf now. You can growl, and if someone can speak with animals, they can speak to you. But you're a wolf. Rawr.
So, you want me to try to speak to them, and so I mean that way I would also be able to convey to your character as well.
You can speak with animals if you cast that spell.
But I already cast speak with animals, but I can't articulate. Is what you're saying?
Right, as a wolf,
okay, got
you
it,
can't
got
speak human, right?
Okay.
So the question is do we? I mean, since I guess what you said is I can only do 3 spells
per day.
Yeah. So do you want me to use that spell again, Koopa? I mean, since I have one as well.
I would save it. We can just try to move around. I mean, move back, like move to what? So they're directly in front of us. If we, try to. I'm gonna howl for my animals, and they're gonna jump on my back, and I'm going to sort of run towards the hills, I guess.
You want to give me your very best wolf howl?
Oh! Ow, 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 ow!
Perfect. They come tromping through the grasses back towards you guys. Niga's coming forward gently, motioning towards the animals. Brother Honeybun, I'm not sure what you're doing at this moment right now.
I guess if they're saying that if we back up, I'm just going to get my mace ready then. My regular mace, not my silver mace. My silver mace. Okay. I'm gonna back up.
And TheOnlyRyann, are you casting your spell here?
You know what? I'm gonna hold off onto it off of Koopa's suggestion, and I'm just gonna keep on backing up and seeing what happens from this, and ready to see if Bonsai's gonna be casting some fire here to keep us.
You guys...
I'm along with the group that we're gonna see if we can actually avoid a fight here, but I am poised to just let the arrows fly if these beasts take any more aggressive actions towards us.
Yeah, you guys back out, and the lions don't follow, and carefully keeping your distance and circling around, you manage to avoid any conflict with the lions. They don't follow. They kind of what's the word? Shadow you for a little while as you go around. It looks like there's something in the middle.
Sorry.
Why is that so adorable?
They're trying to hide or protect you from, or protect from you. But, walking around seems to be effective. You managed to get past the lions without having to murder any kitties.
But I also didn't get to pet them.
You didn't. And Lumen, you're muted, Lumen, but...
Do you think Lumen would let me pet her? No, I'm just kidding.
You're still muted, Lumen.
You're still muted.
Oh, God. God, Cira, I love your character.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Well,
did you ever see Monsters, Inc. with the I have to touch them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me. I gotta pet the kitties.
No.
No. Spell of
Nope.
silence was cast on Koopa.
You know, she's in wolf form. It makes sense that we
is
can't hear her.
true. That is
Can't
true.
understand her anyway.
Yeah, she's all over there going. I'm just like, okay, wait, what?
All right.
I don't understand. You're gonna have to turn. I do not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
You guys continue pressing on through. I don't understand. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I have faith in you.
Unplug the mic and plug it back in. That's always
Did you try turning it off and turning it on?
turn on, turn off. Yeah.
So you guys continue to move on as you notice storm clouds beginning to roll in, and a gentle rain begins to fall that quickly picks up into a proper rainstorm. If I can find my...
There's nothing to.
So here's the time to ask the question. What sort of camping supplies do you guys typically carry around with you, if any? Like outdoor tents and stuffs.
I mean, if she had said that we could have at her stores,
Absolutely.
I'd just grab the regular tent.
Okay. So you would have brought tents?
Would
Can you hear
have
me
brought
now?
tents.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yes. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I have no idea what happened.
You were a wolf. That was the problem.
I was a
You
wolf.
know,
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Back to being human. Oh, nice to hear you again.
well, I'm a halfling, but yeah.
But yeah, camping gear and whatnot, and with my also experience of being a traveler and having to sleep out many times, you know, and with nature and that kind of stuff, know all the different ways to set up our tents so that we can avoid getting waterlogged while we're dressed in.
All right.
Same.
The storm rolls in. You guys kind of set up your camp and sit down to wear it out, or wait it out, or something out. And let's see if anything fun happens to you in the middle of a rainstorm.
Fire!
I've noticed with DMs,
ominous.
their version of fun is very different than the group's version of fun.
What? No. We're all having fun together.
You know, let's just see if a random lightning strike just kills everybody. That'll be fun.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at some point you guys are gonna actually go to sleep. And can I get who's the first person to keep watch that night?
I'll keep watch first.
All right, Brother Honeybun, give me a perception check, buddy.
Perception. What is my +5?
That's the one.
Oh
30.
boy.
So 18 modified.
Yeah, 18.
Very nice.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
You're in your little tent, waiting for the storm to pass. When you notice there's a flicker of light kind of coming through the tall grasses. Whenever there's not lightning, you can kind of like see it occasionally to the south.
But flicker like a man-made light, or
Yeah, it's got like that warm glow of a lantern or a torch or something.
in the night
in the night
while raining.
while it's raining in the open plains.
Is it coming close to me?
No, you've just noticed it right now, and you only occasionally, the grasses blow from the rain, you can like see this flicker, and then the grasses blow back and it's gone again. You can barely notice it.
I'll make note of it and I'll keep an eye, but if it's not coming towards us, I don't want to start trouble where we ain't gonna. Okay. I'll just kind of like make our fire kind of like, you know, a little less showy, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. The night passes uneventfully then, if you ignore the flickering lights in the distance. And we're going to go to our first break here, and we're going to come back from our break in a few minutes with the second part of our adventure. So we'll see you guys in 3 to 5 minutes. Bye-bye.